Hi there everyone, this is the Innovative Traders and welcome back to my channel. For those that are new to the channel, my name is Ivory Maramba, the trader behind Innovative Traders. I focus on smart money concept, specifically market structure, supply and demand. So in this video guys, I'm going to give you updates on the pairs that I've shared on from this previous week, right? This time I'm only going to share updates only. I don't have any pair that I'm looking to put an eye on this coming week, right? As I'll be busy with some of the things, right? So without any further ado, let us take a look at gold as my first pair, right? So with gold, I gave you guys an analysis recently that I'm looking to buy, right? Because on the higher time frame, we are currently bullish, right? We are in this manner. We had a high, we had a low, we had a high, right? Price is seeking for a what? For a high low before you push even more higher, right? So I said to you guys, since we have this change of character being right there, right? This is one leg, right? This is one leg. Price is now telling us looking to what? To facilitate the pullback on this time frame before you push even more higher. Obviously seeking a discounted or well priced area before you push even more higher. Possibly targeting this demand that is sitting right here, right? This demand supported by this fair value gap that is filled here, right? Provided that price hasn't met enough orders for it to push towards the upside, right? So I said to you guys, we're going to look for what? For a counter to the higher time frame trend, right? But pro internal, right? So let's take a look at what is currently happening right now. Price pushed up, right? When I was analyzing this pair, price was around this area, right? We had price reacting from this point, giving us change of credit on the lower time frame, right? Looking to enter upon any new form level of supply before you push even more lower, right? So us having that, what happened was price pushed up, right? Pushed up, violated this high, right? Violating the first reaction on our supply zone, but it failed to close above this recent internal high, right? It closed below, right? Basically, I mean, there's still a high chance price can still what push toward the downside, but we need supporting confluence to that. So if you can take a look at what has happened on the lower time frame, right? The 4 hour, just to see what happened. We had this change of character, right? We had our clean 4 hour bearish order flow, which is obviously what an internal order flow on the daily, right? The daily internal order flow. So now having this on the 4 hour time frame, we had price having a low, a high, and an eyeballs, right? Since the 4 hour and the daily are currently what correlated, right? We have the similar structure from the 4 hour and the daily, but it's much more visible on the 4 hour, right? If you can take a look at what happened here, we had we had this high, right? We had a low, we had a break to the upside. After a break, we expected pullback, which is what we got. We got a change of character, right? We got a change of character here. Then price started to give us this price action, breaking even more lower, giving us an internal break, indicating that we're going to go even more lower, right? So price was basically what pulling back on the 4 hour and on the daily. So it's looking to what facilitate the daily and the 4 hour pullback. So we're looking to trade the internal order flow, right? Internal order flow of the daily, which is obviously correlating with the what? With the 4 hour, right? This is our internal structure. We had a break of structure there, which is an IBOS internal break of structure of the 4 hour time frame and the daily time frame, right? Price retracing back in signs of weakness, obviously, with us having a protected strong high there, protected internal H4 strong high, right? We're looking to enter upon this area here to target our 4 hour week low, possibly even more lower before a push towards the upside on gold, right? So us having that, I said to you guys, we have a change of character up there. Obviously, after this break of structure, expecting a pullback. How do you know a pullback is about to start? We want to see change of character back to the upside, which is what we have received from this point. Hence, price pull back towards the upside. From this area here, it tapped on a supply zone, right? It pushed down impulsively, switching back to the downside, switching back the order flow, giving us a change of character that we are now done pulling back. We can look to push towards the upside, right? To push what downside. So us having that, I said to you guys, for us to enter this trade, we want to see price retracing back in signs of weakness around this area here. And I said to you guys, you can look for any intraday opportunities to accompany price even more higher, right? If you're an intraday trader. So as waiting for price to come here, price came back in signs of weakness. It pushed up, tagged us in, it pushed lower, obviously moving to break even depending on your management plan. Moving to break even or taking partials, right? So moving to break even, price pushed down, reacted on a lower time frame demand and pushed up, continue breaking straight to the upside, violating this high here and invalidating our entry, right? Our trade. But the setup was an A plus setup, which is something I would take over and over again, right? So let's take a look at the lower time frame and get to see how price went up. If you can take a look at that, price went up sharply, right? I think this was like CPI or something. Price pushed up, gave us a sniper entry, dropped obviously break even or partials depending on your management. Price pushed up. If you can take a look at what has happened here, it has found an intraday demand and push even more higher, right? Push even more higher. Of course, if you're able to look for those accompanying opportunities, you'd be holding this until here and you would have hit take profit, right? But as we're waiting for price to come into an area of supply in signs of weakness and tag us in, stop loss being above this high here because of supply is being consumed. We have a clean supply chain, right, which is more visible on the 4-hour time frame. So us getting tagged in, pushing up, we move to break even. If you have entered an intraday trade, you'd have held it towards the upside and made more money. So right now at this point, I want to see what's going to happen. If price is willing to push to the downside based on the daily time frame, right? Based on the daily time frame, based off this price action, if price is willing to go to the downside, I would like to see price giving me a lower time frame price action that is more convincing for me that okay, order flow is about to go to the downside, right? So possibly violating this low here, right, which I don't see happening. But then if price is retracing signs of weakness, then it means we look for buying opportunities to the upside. But recently, like I said to you guys, I only have updates. I don't have any pair that I'm looking to put an eye on this coming week. I also like to give you an update on EURNZD on how it's currently running about right now. So if you can take a look at the daily, just a quick recap from the previous weeks, we had price giving us a clean bullish order flow, right? A clean bullish order flow, us having a break of structure, right? Break of structure, retracement in signs of weakness, which is what we like to see, a change of character to the upside, right, on the daily, which is pretty much straightforward. We had a low, a high, a sweep of the low, and a change of character, which we've marked previously, and retracement in signs of weakness again into areas of demand, and a clean push towards the upside, violating this high, validating the setup that you're about to push even more higher. If you can remember on my previous videos, on the first video, I was talking about Dow theory, right? Dow theory is applying towards the upside, meaning that we're about to advance even more higher, right? So if you can take a look at this is actually a break in a manner which I called an intent. It is showing an intent, right? You want to see retracement in signs of weakness and a push even more higher, right? By this time, I believe you guys have gotten used to the language, right? Change of character, break of structure, signs of weakness, Dow theory, and all of that. So going to the 4-hour time frame, this is what we're currently having. Price still running at 4%. How did I catch this trade? I saw a change of character, right? I saw a change of character on the 4-hour time frame. I didn't even bother going even more lower. This was much more valid, right? Was much more valid for me because price gave us a change of character up there to facilitate the pullback of this leg in signs of weakness, even though the break was not that fully impulsive, but it's valid, right? Because we closed above the previously formed lower high, right, which was supposed to maintain the bearish order flow until we push to the downside, right, possibly reaching extreme discounted areas before we push even more higher, right? So us having that, we had a change of character there, price tracing even more lower. I remember we took attempts, if you can remember back then, we took attempts around this area because of this change of character, and price came back lower, took us at a break even. We waited, sat on our hands, price came back, swept the low again, gave us a change of character on the 4-hour time frame with 2 candles beautifully so, closing above with a body break. I've marked my demand and I placed my order, right? Placed my order. If you can adjust, you can see we're currently running at 4%, right? Currently running at 4%. See that? 4.75%, right? So you're looking to target the high. Obviously, price is still gonna trace even more lower, right? Trace even more lower. Trace even more lower, mid discount and push up. If we don't break this low, then we're going to trace even more here, catch an intraday setup. I'm not looking for that. I'm only going to hold this trade, right? Since this week I'm going to be busy. Tracement into this in signs of weakness and a push even more higher. So EURNZD is actually moving how we are anticipated it to move. Obviously, if you are looking for a lower time frame, let's take a look at how we have caught this entry. Let's go to the 1 hour first to see how price retraced. Okay, price came back. No, there's no clear POI 15 minutes time frame. I didn't even bother going to the lower time frame because of the 4 hours pretty much clear, right? Because obviously, if you can take a look at the M15, if I came here, wanted a refined entry, right? If you can take a look at this price, pushed up, right? Give us a change of character. I was going to wait for price to change character again, obviously enter upon this area here, which I believe somebody did somewhere out there if they saw the setup, right? Price gave us a change of character there to the downside. Why? We're looking towards the facilitator pullback. Why? We have a break of structure. After a break of structure, what do you expect? We expect a pullback. How do you know a pullback is about to start? You want to see a change of character. How do you know a pullback is about to end? You want to see what? A change of character, right? So now us having price come back to in this manner, we had another change of character to the upside. If you were sitting on the lower time frame, right, you would have marked this demand here, right? This demand here. Why that? Let me just hide this for now. Why this demand? Because you can't use the one below since it is already consumed, right? It's already consumed, which led to a flip. We had a low, a high, right? A low, price came back, gave us a reaction, right? A conflict between demand and supply causing a flip. Hence price came back to tap into this demand and push even more higher, continuing with sustaining the bullish order flow, right? A demand chain in this case. So you would have entered here with a stop loss being there, obviously targeting towards the upside. If an intraday trade, obviously 4R can be minimum if you want to, but then that's how you would have taken it if you're entering on the lower time frame. So that's it for this market update. As I said, I won't be trading this week because of I'll be very busy to be on the charts, right? So that's all I have for you guys for this for today. I really hope you guys get to have a productive week ahead. You already know how it is. Stay sharp, trade smart, and stay blessed.